What is up, guys, and welcome to the first ever State of Manga Address, where we gather around and talk about manga with others. So the cool thing about this is that it's not just Blitz and I, but this time we get to have other people come on and talk about their views and opinions on certain mangas. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about the One Piece manga. And guess what? We have some new faces around here. Well, new voices, new faces. Well, you guys have never really seen our faces. But yeah, we got some new faces around here. So can you guys just introduce yourselves, please?
Hi guys, my name is Rodney. I'm 21 years old, and just like you, I'm a One Piece fan. I actually started following the journey of the Straw Hats in 2019 in June, and yeah, didn't look back ever since. Just having a good time, following the adventures of Luffy, Nami, and the rest of the Straw Hats, and yeah, that's me, guys.
What's up? This is Goat Summer, aka Lord Goat, aka the Imperial One, aka the greatest one. That's me. So, I'm a huge fan of this show. Started following it in 2020 during the coronavirus thing. Yeah, the Shandies was bad. But it gave me a chance to dive into this show. I spent 2 months watching that show from episode 1 to episode 929. It was a very good experience. I enjoyed it very much, and ever since I've been following it every way I can, and yeah, here we are now.
Welcome, gentlemen. Great to have you all on here, right? I need no introduction, right? As you all know me, I'm part of the channel, run with me and Mist and stuff like that. So, yeah, it's great, man. It's great to have these guys on. Can't wait to discuss whatever we have to discuss here. And yeah, let's go, gents.
As he said, we need no introduction. We are Let's Invest. So today's whole theme was One Piece, because as this is called the State of Manga Address, we'll be discussing manga and whatever we feel like, really, but mostly manga. And today we're just focusing on the world of One Piece and everything that's happened since its hiatus. So I don't know how you guys feel about this, but honestly, for me, when I saw those bounties after that great big clash that we had in the manga, I was kind of conflicted. Like, I felt like some people really didn't deserve the bounties that they got on their heads, while others, I was like, yeah, that makes sense. Like, they did a lot, they were pushing through everything. When push came to shove, they came doing what they were doing. So yeah, my first agenda, the first agenda.
Wait. Okay, before you get to your first agenda, rather just don't hide it. Rather just say who it is that you feel doesn't deserve their bounty, so we can sort that out. You get me? Because shooting shots, low key, it's not great. So rather just point it out, from the jump, so that we can just sort that out before you get to your first agenda. Because I have a feeling you're specifically talking about a certain character that I like. So yeah, what's the story there, man?
Yeah, I hate to say this, I'm actually a huge fan of this character. But Luffy, man, his bounty was just, it was too hot and jerky. It was obviously Kid, guys. I don't know how you guys felt, but like the bounties for me, I felt like Kid didn't really deserve that high of a bounty, because everyone got the same bounty, if I remember correctly.
Personally, I think I feel the same as you, because Kid didn't do that much in the fights against the Yonkos. I mean, he did a lot, but I don't think he did that much damage, And as we all saw, Big Mom fell into that hole. She was wide awake. I think the thing that really hurt her was the bombs. But yeah, Kid didn't really do that much. I mean, I guess we had expectations for what he was going to bring to this war or raid, but he really didn't live up to those expectations. And him getting the bounty that is equal to Monkey D. Luffy is just bullshit, in my opinion. I don't like it. I don't appreciate it. Law, we can agree. We can actually, easily come to terms with him getting a bounty just as high as Luffy, because without Law, they would have been done by now. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Bruh, let's talk about Kid for a bit. Now, I actually like Kid. Right? That's the thing. I like Kid, and I get where everybody's coming from with regards to whatever happened in Wano and in relation to Big Mom as well. But yeah, in this case, I truly hear you. And even though I like the guy, I do have to admit and say that, yeah, he really didn't deserve the bounty that he got. If it was slightly lower, I'd understand and I'd be absolutely okay with it. But, at the end of the day, it was a tag team sort of thing. And we do have to keep in mind that the world government is the one that decides the bounties, right? And it doesn't really, to them, in this case, it may just be a cover up so that, it doesn't the scales in any which way. So, they just took into account that, two of the biggest Yonkos were defeated, right? And that's it. That's that. Nobody needs to know who beat who did what, right? So just know that both of them went down, and these three guys were the ones that were involved. So we ought to look at it in terms of them, right? Because we'll always get this, right? It's always been the case as well. Luffy never gets the bounty that he deserves, right? Or credit for something that he deserves as well. So you ought to look at it in terms of that as well, from the world government's eyes, who are the ones issuing the bounties and everything. But yes, in terms of kids specifically, just with us, what we as fans know, obviously he does not deserve the bounty that he got. But once again, it could be Oda trying to play the narrative of him being Luffy's rival. I'm very, very, as Rodney mentioned, disappointed because Oda, said this, we have this high expectation of Kid now after what he said in terms of, he has big plans for Kid and so on and so forth. And he's just been so underwhelming and it's sad to see. But I guess we're not going to see anything better from Kid right here on out in the story.
So I'm hearing a lot of talk of from what you said that you think Luffy does not get the bounties he deserves. What do you think? What does Luffy deserve basically? What is your expectation that Luffy deserves this?
Okay, I get it, right? In my opinion, my humble opinion, I believe that he should have got a bounty higher than Kaido's because we take into consideration that he defeated the world's strongest creature, right? That is no small feat, no matter who you are in the series, you get me? So I honestly do believe that he should have got a bounty, if not higher, then slightly closer to that of Kaido's, right? So that's just my opinion. I don't know about y'all guys.
How long has Kaido been doing his thing? How long has Kaido been causing havoc? How long has Kaido been doing all of this crazy shit that he's been doing for him to be named a Yonko?
I just want to cut you off here for a few seconds. I mean, Luffy getting a bounty higher than Kaido would be pretty dangerous because we're not even close to... Okay, we are close to the end of the series, but still, Oda likes to play on the... It's basically like a pun where he takes the number 5 and 6 and just people expect Luffy's bounty at the end of the series to be 5.6 billion, and giving Luffy a bounty higher than Kaido would be problematic because at this point most people don't feel like Luffy is above Shanks. Yeah.
But look, here's the thing. Yeah, we get it. We know he's not above Shanks, right? Because it's been played out from the way Oda's portrayed stuff that Shanks is the strongest Yonko. I get that. Right? But to answer Code-sama on that thing of Kaido, obviously Kaido's been doing this for years, right? We know that over 20, 30 years, right? He's been at it in the seas and so on and so forth. And we always talk about this, that even when it was just in terms of them fighting, that Luffy can't just come into and defeat the guy in one go, whatever it is, and one attempt and everything. So it made sense about him losing over and over again because this guy's been doing this for years. You get me? He's been coming across guys that have been trying to defeat him and so on and so forth. So yes, he's got the experience, But even at that, I mean, he just got beaten up by a 19-year-old kid. Right? If I remember correctly, that's how old Luffy is. You get me? So he's got greater potential than Kaido has. Because what was Kaido doing at the age of 19? Well, we didn't get a proper backstory.
He was beating niggas up. What you mean?
No, I remember he was beating people up, but wasn't he like some soldier thing? Didn't they mention that he was like a soldier or whatever, something of that sort around that age or whatever it is. But like I get what you mean, right? And I understand where Rodney's coming from as well and saying that it's problematic, but bruh, to give him 3 million lower than the two Yonkos that he just defeated, bruh, for me that's a bit crazy, bro. Like honestly speaking.
All I'm saying is Luffy getting a higher bounty than Kaido wouldn't make sense. That's all I gotta say, because it's just your argument of Luffy being 19, basically being young and being able to beat that guy. That's your argument, saying that he has more potential. But if we put it this way, let's put what Kaido was what 14, 15, beating niggas up and whatnot, right? Let's put 14, 15-year-old Kaido with 14, 15-year-old Luffy. What happens there? What happens there?
Definitely Luffy loses.
Luffy loses, exactly.
Yeah.
You see, that argument cannot work in this case. The thing is, Kaido has just been in this scene for way too long, and he's been doing things for way too long. We get that he was defeated by a 19-year-old and whatnot, but
Let's not forget that Kaido was defeated with the efforts of a lot of people in the ring. I mean, we had the scabbards. We had the scabbards.
exactly.
Okay.
We had the worst generation. And Yamato, so many people helped. So we can't give the credit all to Luffy. Yes, Yamato was there too. She didn't do that much, but it's still something, you know.
He's just trying to say that she was on their side. She was helping, basically. That Luffy got a lot of help from a lot of people. That's the point he's trying to get across.
That's true.
Which is
I
very
understand where you guys are coming from, right? And this is why I actually like this sort of stuff, right? Because you bring forth different views and perspectives, right? So I get where you guys are coming from 100%, right? I get it, right? And to some extent, I agree with it. Maybe I'm just looking at it in a certain, like with the idea of, okay, bouncies, like in the back of my mind, that the fact that bouncies equate to strength, of which is not true. We've seen that and we know that, right? But, bruh, I'm still crying about it, man. World's strongest creature, bruh. Like that title, maybe it's because as well, I'm one of the few that actually take the titles given in One Piece seriously. Like Mihawk being the greatest swordsman, I'd expect him to be one of the strongest characters in the series. You get me? Pirate King, Gold Roger, just in general, you know. So yeah, with regards to him being labeled strongest creature, bruh, I don't take that lightly at all. So what does that say about Luffy when he defeats someone like that? But as I mentioned, I totally get where you guys are coming from. I understand it, and to some extent, I agree. Right?
The thing is, it's not Luffy who defeated Kaido. It's Luffy and friends, basically. Luffy and people. Luffy and people helping him.
For sure.
He couldn't have done that by himself.
And I'm actually happy that happened, because from the beginning of Wano, I was also on the tip of, hey, this guy cannot beat Kaido alone, no matter what. But what happened at the end, bro? Like at the end of the day, it was Luffy against Kaido 1-on-1, right? He landed the final blow, right? And we got the order box saying Luffy was the winner. It did not say Luffy helped by Yamato, helped by Zoro, helped by Kid, helped by Killer, were the ones that won that fight. You know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, Oda said it. Oda wanted it to happen, and we just gotta live with it. We gotta accept it. I mean, we can have an opinion on it, which is what we're doing right now. We're sharing our opinions on it, but at the end of the day, bro, you know,
even if Luffy had a lot of help, I'm pretty sure we can all agree that the majority of the damage came from Luffy, because damn, that Conqueror's Haki coating, that Ryo destroying things from within, definitely Luffy did maybe 80% of the damage.
Well, if I remember correctly, did Kid do anything against?
Literally all Kid did was just body slam Kaido in his dragon form, and we know Kaido doesn't feel anything.
Yeah, once again, useless attacks, bro. Hey, the Kid is so disappointing, bro.
It's really sad.
Oh, bro.
And the potential of his devil fruits, I mean, if we look at other users of the magnet fruit, I mean magnet powers, it's just so underwhelming, you know. The way he uses it, he has more potential to do a lot more with his fruit, but I guess Oda doesn't want that for him.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. I was also expecting some Magneto level, uh, attacks from
Exactly.
Kid, but once I saw the mech suit come out, I was like, ah. I was just like, nah, bruh, it's reps. And for real, when he landed that first attack, and when you could just see that his attacks are based on him, brute force grabbing a person, slamming a person, and even his awakening, bro. Oh, dude, yo, bro, so much wasted potential with regards to Kid and the ability the stuff that he could do with his devil fruit. But hey, I mean,
I hear
yeah,
you, bro. Like assigning magnetism to a person. I mean, to any other human being in the world of One Piece, that would be devastating. Like making them a magnet and attracting everything in their surroundings,
Exactly,
they'd be
bro.
crushed. But then when
Exactly.
it comes to people like Big Mom, Kaido, it's nothing. It's just a joke. Because the thing that you
absolutely
need to
nothing.
damage these people is Conqueror's Haki coating or Yo. So yeah, it's probably
Exactly.
useless. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So like that thing that you mentioned as well. I mean, Big Mom has been described as an iron balloon, bro. What do you think assigning magnetism to her? And I mean, they showed that it damaged her, right? Because for whatever reason, but hey, bruh, like, yeah, it was
Goes back
just,
to inconsistencies
yeah,
by Oda.
inconsistency as well. Exactly. Yeah.
Because yeah, I mean, Soul King Brook literally dove from the sky and well, with the intention of hurting Big Mom, and his attack didn't do anything. I mean, I'm not comparing Brook to Kid, but still, you know, we expect that same level of durability, especially since Big Mom is in full health. She's in full health when she fights Law and Kid. So we expect the same level of durability. And yeah, Oda just doesn't do that for us. He's just, I don't want to criticize him too much, but then yeah, he's just trying to make it believable that these guys are good enough to beat Big Mom.
I wanted to ask you guys during the fight between was it Big Mom Kid and Law? Did Kid use his power to take away Big Mom's sword?
No, I don't. I don't recall. I don't recall him being able to do that because she was using mostly conquerors in that fight, if I'm not mistaken. Or did she forget to use conquerors?
My next point was going to be admirals. Admirals, guys. What are your thoughts on the admirals? I'd like to start with Rodney at the end, please. I'd like Rodney actually. Please start off.
I think admirals, we have underestimated them for way too long. I mean, at this point, admirals, we could compare them to Yonkos in a proper 1v1 fight. Yeah, that's all I got to say for that.
Sorry, admirals. Thoughts on the admirals, right? I mean, we kind of talked about this, right? Like way back then. You get me? And yes, Rodney, he cut it short, and I feel like he could have expanded, but I shall do so. We have really been sleeping on admirals. I mean, I personally wasn't. I still do think Yonkos are stronger, right? But they will like it's definitely like not going to be some like low diff for Yonkos against admirals. Definitely high diff, right? And even with the possibility of an admiral winning if things go his way. Could almost said his or her, but there's no female admirals. So but yeah, definitely we have been sleeping on admirals, right? They, especially with that last um, chapter with Green Bull and so on and so forth, that just really put things into perspective, right? That these guys are no joke, right? So I loved that. I really, really did.
Yeah, I think the battle on Punk Hazard between Akaino and Aokiji probably opened the eyes of a lot of fans on the level of strength of admirals, because back in Marineford, when they were fighting Whitebeard, they couldn't utilize their powers to their full extent because they had allies to worry about. But then I'm pretty sure in a 1v1 fight without any outside interferences, Yonkos versus Admirals, I think it's an equal fight. Yeah, can go either way, in my opinion.
So, what I have to say about the admirals, very powerful people. Um, but what I do have to say is that I absolutely hate that nigga Admiral Kizaru, bro. I absolutely do not like that guy with everything I have. I feel like the
Thank
dislike
you.
came from when he attacked, what was that? Was that island just before they go to the new world?
Sabari.
Sabodi.
When he attacked them niggas in Sabodi, and them niggas would like, and Kuma was, banging them there left right, all of that shit. I absolutely like dislike this guy. He is just so powerful, and the way he fights is so annoying. He's just too good at his shit. That's why I dislike him. That's basically all I have to say, because my dislike for this guy just goes up above everything else. Like, seriously, with the other guys, I don't care about the other guys. Like, sure, he killed Ace and the ice nigga, fine, but man, this guy, his face, I can see it right now as I'm talking in my head, and I'm just so annoyed. And yeah, that's all I gotta say.
I, on the other hand, really appreciate Kizaru. Kizaru is always so nonchalant about everything. It feels like he doesn't really give it his all. And it's just scary to imagine what he would be able to achieve if he put so much effort into it, you know?
You don't gotta meet right him, bruh.
You know, with regards to Kizaru, right? I don't think it's a case of him putting in efforts. He puts in effort, I'm pretty sure. It's just the way that he is, he's just naturally a slow guy, So, not in the sense that he's not putting in any effort, but yeah. But with regards to Kizaru, guys, now, if you guys know me, I have a slight beef with this guy, right? Especially when it comes to Rodney, because Rodney absolutely loves this guy. Right? So this is diverting a bit, from what Mist brought up, but we talked about this, guys, with regards to Kizaru and just him and the effect that he's had, right, in the story. Besides Sabaudi, okay, let me not say besides Sabaudi because it's part of the story, right? Sabaudi is pretty much all he's done, right? And when you pin him up against the likes of a Akainu, Kizaru, I mean, what's Aokiji, right? Aokiji, Fujitora. Well, we haven't seen what Green Bull has done yet, right? What he's going to do in Wano. But, it's for me, he falls at the bottom of the picking order, right? So, yeah, that's how it is for me. As you guys know, Fujitora is personally my favorite. And in terms of what the effect that every admiral or just admiral in general has had in the series, I'd probably rank it at Akainu, Fujitora, Aokiji, and then Kizaru, right? Because we can't include Green Bull because we haven't seen what he's done. So, yeah, gentlemen. So I can't believe that his hate for Kizaru actually stems from him actually being too good. I thought he was on my side, but guess I'm wrong.
I think many fans tend to ignore, no, they tend to forget what happened in Marineford when Whitebeard attempted to fight Kizaru. Kizaru literally stood on his Bicento and started trolling the man. Who does that? Doesn't that just amaze you to another level? Like, he literally stood on his sword.
Yes. We get that. I get that, right? But the thing is, as well, you have to, with regards to Marineford in general, guys, it was confirmed by Oda. My man's had multiple heart attacks. Who knew, man? Who knows, man? He could have had a heart attack at that very moment as well when Kizaru was standing on his thing. You get me? Which is why he didn't react. So, plus, it's not Prime Whitebeard, right? It was confirmed. So, gentlemen, I think we should really take the stuff with regards to Whitebeard lightly. Although he is still powerful and everything, but just bear in mind that he obviously wasn't at his absolute best. Because even just to talk about this Whitebeard thing, that specific scene between him and Akainu, I'm also starting to actually think that Akainu was caught lacking, right, when Whitebeard was beating the crap out of him.
Yeah.
That Akainu was actually caught lacking, and that because there's this rumor that went around that if Garp hadn't stopped so and so. Oh no, am I confusing the two? I think I'm confusing the two. Yes, I'm confusing the two between Garp and yeah, it's about Garp's strength, about how Garp is still considered one of the strongest. But get out of here with that, bruh. Time is gone and his time has come and it's gone. You get me? So yeah, I actually kind of mixed the two up. So my bad for that one. But it's just in relation to Garp's strength, the rumor about him that he would have killed Akainu if it wasn't for.
Seem to be finding ourselves going into a lot of tangents.
Yeah, so
But
many
on that
tangents.
point, on Garp having the ability to actually kill Akainu in that moment, I feel like it would have happened.
Exactly.
Because remember,
I back you.
remember, Garp back in the day, was fighting on equal footing with Goldie Roger.
Bro, exactly.
And let's not forget, Goldie Roger's right hand man was able to temporarily temporarily stole an admiral at his old age. What do you think an equal of Goldie Roger would have done to an admiral? Look at it from that perspective.
I kind of think we, overestimate some stuff. Like with that, I know that scene that you're referring to about, Rayleigh stopping Kizaru at that moment.
Exactly.
But come on, bro. You really be honest, it's just really now old man Rayleigh versus Kizaru in his prime. You really think that he would have followed the guy if they were serious? Even with the same thing with regards to Garp and I'm not doubting Garp's strength. I'm just doubting that he could do it at that age. Kill Akainu.
Unlike Whitebeard, he didn't have any heart attacks.
Okay, fair point, right? But
yes, he could utilize all Haki.
Remember that we haven't seen Akainu at full strength. We've seen the effects of what happens when he's fighting full strength.
That's true.
We haven't seen him at full strength because he was holding back.
Yeah.
He had to hold back because of his allies, the other Marines. I understand that.
But then again, okay, just before we get back onto the main course of Wano and everything, this is just something that I actually want to know what people think about. Do you think that Garp has Conqueror's Haki?
Absolutely.
You think he has it? Because
it wouldn't make sense if he didn't actually, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because to be fighting on equal footing with Roger, because that guy had Conqueror's Haki. I mean, if you pinning armaments and conquerors, bro, dude, you get me? So if you fight him on equal footing with Roger, you surely have to have the Shandis.
Yeah.
And I'd actually expect him to have it because, he doesn't take orders from Celestials or whatever the case is. So,
yeah. Also, he mentioned when Luffy first let out that huge wave of Conqueror's Haki in Marineford, he mentioned that Luffy had the Haki just like his son, which means, how can a father have a son who has Conqueror's Haki when he doesn't have Conqueror's Haki himself? But then there is a discussion to be had on the point that Garp is willing to work under someone in the Marines, which most conquerors don't really do. Most conquerors want to be on their own, doing their own thing. So maybe that might be a point against Garp having Conqueror's Haki.
Fair points. I agree with that.
My next 2 points were surrounded around Wano. What is your take on Wano as a whole, and what are your future expectations? So you can break it up if you want to, or just put it into one. Shablam. So what are your takes for Wano? Did you like it? What did you like? What didn't you like? What is it like? Okay, don't rate it. Don't give it a 10 out of 10 type stuff. We don't do that here. And yeah, what do you expect from One Piece going further? I know you guys don't have that much time. So yeah.
In relation to Wano, I'll go first. In relation to Wano, I think Wano was actually a pretty good arc. It's one of my favorite arcs in One Piece. I know, and I've seen people online hating on it, for specific reasons. I mean, everybody's entitled to their own opinion, so to each their own. But I think some criticisms in relation to Wano are unfair. But then again, I'll just give my opinion on Wano. I actually like Wano a lot because this is obviously Odo's arc that he wanted to draw from the very longest, right? So he had it in the back of his mind from East Blue, right? So yeah, to see it actually come together, to see him actually deliver some great art in the chapters of Wano, I actually love that. So yeah, in terms of pacing and everything, I think everything was going pretty well up until it got to like the fights and everything. That's when it started, picking up a bit of pace, and you could say it was a bit rushed, at least in my opinion. But I still think that he was able to get through everything that he wanted to get through, right, and explain and show everything we wanted to show, right, in the short amount of time that he had to conclude the arc. So yeah, man, I think it's also a case of I didn't want it to go on any further, So I actually was looking forward to the end of Wano. As much as I was enjoying being there, I actually wanted to see the end of Wano because it did get to that point where you're like, okay, but like when is this thing ending? Like it looks like it's not ending anytime soon, and then all of a sudden, boom, Oda puts fifth gear, ends Wano, and then people stop complaining. You get me? So. But yeah, in my opinion, I actually enjoyed the arc. I liked it. I said it's one of my favorite arcs in One Piece because we introduced obviously the newest member of the Straw Hats, so on and so forth. We got to see Luffy versus Kaido, something that I thought was from the very longest he was gonna have to like with Blackbeard as well, just team up against the guy. And we did see a team up, but ultimately it is Luffy's story. So he will take up the big bad, and I don't mind that. The only issue I have with regards to the ending of Wano in general is how Kaido was defeated and how that was sort of ended with regard to him and Big Mom floating in lava at the end. I mean, Oda told us that we wouldn't end Kaido with one big punch, and I mean, we got it. And it's confirmation. Luffy's a spammer, guys. I don't want to hear it from anyone else. He's a spammer, like Naruto, like Ichigo. So yeah, gents, that's my.
I mean, to
taking
be fair about Luffy ending the fight with one big punch, it wasn't just a regular one big punch. It was a punch filled with Conqueror's Haki coating, Ryo, and so much more. And also, let's not forget that the first was as big as an island. It was as big as an island.
You know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of King
King,
Kong
from what's it called? From Stampede.
from Stampede. Exactly.
Yeah, but all I enjoyed Wano as well. I enjoyed Wano. It has its flaws like many arcs, but I think overall it was a very, very good arc. Of course, I also didn't enjoy the ending of the fight between Luffy and Kaido, but it is what it is. We have to move on. We can't stay on this. I mean, what more could come from the fight? Most people wanted Kaido to reveal his awakening, and I'm pretty sure he's awakened already. What do you guys think about that? If you don't mind me asking, do you think Kaido is awakened?
That is an old head, man. Of course, it's gotta be have like awoken already.
Do you
It's
think
just something
Do
that's
you think he has already revealed his power, or he didn't get the chance to reveal his awakening?
No, I think that he did. It's just he's a Zoan, but what do people expect? Right? They
Exactly.
expect him to unlock some other kind of transformation. But
Yeah,
no,
like
since
how many more
yeah,
transformations do they want? Because it would get
he's a
stale at some
Zoan.
point. Like, when is this thing going to fight? Because we've been in this arc for like 4 years now. 4 years
Yeah,
now.
Oh
So yeah,
yes.
yeah, bro. I think it's longer than I think it's longer than Dressrosa at this
Dressrosa,
point.
yeah. Dressrosa was another arc. I swear, it just felt like it would never end.
oh yeah, no, that was long. That was very long. But was it longer than Whole Cake?
Nah, definitely, right? Yeah.
The whole cake was like 86 chapters or something
The
like that.
whole cake was really good. But hey, we're not talking about whole cake here. We're talking about Wano.
Of course.
Man, if I go. So yeah, for me, Wano, I actually loved Wano because finally got to see Kaido like properly fleshed, well, not really fleshed out, but like got to see Kaido. I remember Blitz early on telling me, "Oh my gosh, there's this dude in the series. Oh, he's the strongest creature. This, that." He'd always hype him up every time, bro. Like, "Oh, can't wait for you to see this." But like, okay, okay.
Oh, is this when you were catching up?
Yeah, when I was catching up, dude's like, "Oh, there's this man. Well, I'm pretty sure you maybe you missed his name, but they mentioned his name in Thriller Bark." I was like, "Oh, really?" He's like, "Yeah, this dude's just next level. Oh my gosh, strongest creature, this, that." I'm like, "Okay, bro. Okay."
Yeah, I remember Blitz hyping him up, attempting to do his love, and yeah,
Yeah,
just
exactly.
wonderful times.
This is just confirmation that I was a fan of Kaido before everybody was.
Yeah,
People still thought he
Blitz
was
always believed in
some
him.
brute. I've always believed in Kaido, man. You get me? So yeah.
Yeah, it was just amazing. The man's always hyping up Kaido. Even when I remember I didn't even know what he looked like, bro. And then eventually we reached that episode in One Piece where we see him trying to kill himself, and he's like, "Did you see that? That's my boy right there. That's my boy." And then he does the laugh. How does the laugh go again, Blitz? How does that laugh?
I'm not gonna attempt to do Kaido's laugh over.
Just do the laugh, bruh. Come
You
on.
don't want to steal JD Legend's
Yeah, I
job.
don't wanna steal JD Legend. Maybe we could insert that right here, but
That laugh is
yeah.
manly, in my opinion.
Yeah, it was just one. It's just amazing though. Really with Kaido and everything. I felt like it wasn't the most emotionful arc, but like there was a lot of emotions going on, especially towards the ending. When we just see how all these guys have been liberated by Luffy. It was for me personally. I was like, dang, these guys did this. Luffy did this. These guys. He's ended the long suffering that they've been experiencing. And like Coach Summer mentioned earlier, like Kaido's been doing this, bro. He's been a tyrant for years, bro. For years. So there's no way Luffy's bounty is going to be higher than Kaido's, because Kaido's got experience. He's been doing this for years, and we see that in Wano. Back when Odin was around, Kaido was doing his thing. Even now, Kaido was doing his thing, and finally, bam, Luffy does this, and it was just amazing to see Samurais, amazing to see Wano, and just everything in general. It was an amazing arc. I loved it. It wasn't the greatest, but definitely was a great arc. And like I mentioned, like the ending for me, I like the ending, even though the Luffy fight against Kaido did kind of feel rushed out. But like, what did you expect, really? Kaido's been fighting, bro. Him and Big Mom have just been fighting. Eventually, and like you guys mentioned, there was a point where you'd be like, "Hey, man, when is this thing gonna end now? I want to see the next arc." And I felt like everything was just worth it. Obviously, the flashback, Kaido flashback, I was like, I wish that I had more to indulge in, but sadly, that's not the case. But like, really, I just loved Wano, really. Just though, even I think first I saw it in the anime first before I moved on to the manga, and just in the anime it was just exciting, dude. Odin's backstory with Whitebeard and Roger, amazing stuff. It felt like a new island. It felt different, and obviously Odin does an amazing job with this. Every island is unique and different in its own way, and there's always a lot of things linking together. How Odin knows Whitebeard and all of that. It was amazing, But yeah, for me, I really did love it. I really love it. Not one of the best, but definitely up there for me. It's just an amazing arc. Kaido, the strongest creature in the world, got taken down that day, and it's just, oh man, I loved it. I loved it. And Yamato as well, man. Like, what? Yamato, powerful. It's like, dang, bro. And obviously the whole Zoro's dad thing as well, that just added to everything for me. Each week was like, dang, I can't wait for the new chapter. Like, no, you know what? I'm gonna be patient. I'm gonna wait for 2 weeks, and then I'm gonna like just binge everything once, because that's how amazing it was. That's how amazing Wano was for me, really speaking. Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah, of all things, you decided to speak facts. But also, I remember when Luffy delivered that final blow to Kaido, I was waiting week after week, just hoping Kaido would wake up, because it didn't feel real to me. But yeah, it is what it is at the end of the day.
Damn. I remember when I first got to Wano with the episodes, because it was one of the things that I wanted to get to the most because of the animation that I had seen, and I was like, yeah, I have to get to this so fast, because I remember starting from episode 1, and around episode 500 something, around there, I was close, and I just felt the excitement. And when I eventually got to episode 929, I was like, it was basically like we were within Wano, right? But then nothing was really really happening. Luffy had fought Kaido for the first time, and he was clapped, and that was crazy as it was. And after 929, I just decided, nah, I have to dive into the manga, which I did, and it was it was really good. I like the manga. The manga for me, né? I like the whole concept of one chapter, one episode, because not a lot of shows go with that analogy. So for me, it was literally okay. As I read a chapter, it's like an episode, and visualizing manga panels and stuff like that. I wasn't really into it, but then when I started reading with Wano, it just flowed. Like it was so fluid, it was so nimble, it was so nice. I really enjoyed it. The whole arc as a whole, due to the writing, due to the animation, due to just it as a whole unit, out of a 10, I would give it a solid. I'm dragging out my words because I'm thinking. I would I would give it a solid. I would give it a solid 9. I would give it a solid 9. I would give it a solid 9. I feel like a solid 9 is a good enough score for Wano, and yeah, that is my experience.
So yeah, gentlemen. Well, with regards to Wano, like, what do you guys see happening on the return chapter, and just from here on out in one?
Oh, I wanted to say my thoughts on the return chapter. I'm really just trying to have a blank mind. I'm really just trying to wait and see what Oda has for us, because I don't want to have expectations. I just want to go into it and find out what's going on straight from Oda, you know, because there have been times where I've had these theories. I've been thinking what's gonna happen. What if this happens? That and then it doesn't happen like that, or it does. And at most times, I feel like I enjoy things going in with a blank mind, where I am able to be surprised and wowed, and not be, oh, I expected this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I definitely get what you mean, bro. Definitely get. For me as well, it's like it's nice to go in there blank, not expecting anything, not wanting anything, just getting there, coming in there and getting what you're getting, type of thing, which is amazing as well. Because for me as well, I have no idea. People say that the last island, or the island that we're going to right now is going to be what, Elbaf or something like that. And like, sure, I don't know what to expect. I expect giants, of course, but like other than that, it's just I don't know what else to expect. It's like obviously the things that I want to expect, like Vegapunk. If Blitz can tell you, I've been nagging him with this question over and over ever since I've started One Piece. I've always been nagging this guy. He's like, okay, what about Vegapunk, bro? Tell me about the suit. He's like, don't worry, bro, don't worry. You're gonna get it eventually when Oda decides. I remember every time he'll tell you. So like, really, I expect nothing. I'm joking. I expect a lot, but at the same time, I'm trying to limit my expectations so I can fully embrace what Oda gives us. What he gives us, and enjoy what he's giving us. Really.
Yeah, for me, I expect the Straw Hats to fight Rainbow. Yeah, I'm a meathead like that. I like seeing the Straw Hat getting into battle, and yeah, also expect Oda to jump into what happened at the Reverie. I mean, we got Sabo, Vivi, and all that mystery around that. Really excited to see what comes of all that, and yeah. Oh yeah, also just excited about the possibility of maybe Kaido and Big Mom still being alive. We don't know about that. I mean, could they be durable enough to even survive um, the magma? Who knows? That's just the beauty of One Piece. You never know what comes next. And no matter how good you are at predicting things, 99% of the time you're usually wrong. Thank you.
It's the beauty of One Piece. And yes, Big Mom was said to have survived. Like, I think she escaped with the Big Mom pirates as well. But yeah, just in general, with regards to the return chapter, obviously expect a continuation of whatever's going to happen between Green Bull and just the people in Wano. But I don't think they're going to fight. If I'm being, like, in my opinion, I don't think they're going to fight as much as we'd like to see it. He'd get folded, though. Like, I think, everybody ganging up on him, though. You're an admiral, yes, you're strong, but hey, bruh, hey, bruh, you've got heavy hitters over there, Luffy, Kid, Zoro, and Sanji. I'm not mentioning Kid on purpose, but no, but yeah. So through us, what's gonna happen afterwards in One Piece, gents? In my opinion, this is why I'm so happy that as much as I watch these One Piece YouTubers, like I kind of stay away from it and watch it only when something happens. I always find my way to them, but I don't really cling to what they say. So yeah, it's just for the first time in One Piece, we really don't know where the series is gonna go. A lot of, as Mist mentioned, we are a lot of people are predicting that it's going to be Elbaf. Elbaf is the next destination, but I mean, Oda's writing the story, and we don't know if we're going to head to Elbaf.
Yes,
Maybe
sir.
there's going to be something that they're going to need to go fetch back in paradise. Who knows? So you don't know. But yeah, I'm just looking forward to it, honestly, because of that specific reason that we're all going into it completely blind, you know, just letting Oda steer the ship once again and just let him do what he does best. Obviously, you can have your opinion on it, but, we're just here to enjoy the series. And yeah,
Amazing, amazing, amazing. Does anyone like to add anything before we wrap this up and get on to our normal lives?
Subscribe to the channel.
I'd just like to say it's been great. It's hopefully for those that listened up until this far, right? Once again, we appreciate it, right? So the love and support, right? So yeah, just in general, I enjoyed this. Hopefully, it can become a frequent thing, right? I mean, we all are busy with the rest, whatever's going on in our lives, but just taking time to talk about what we love, it's great. It really is.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me on here, and yeah, I really love hanging out and discussing this beautiful show, and yeah, looking forward to when we can do it again.
Thank you so much for having me up here as well. Um, this is my first time being here with you guys, and I must say this was very interesting. I enjoyed it very much, and I would just like to, and I know he won't hear or see this, but I would just like to thank Oda for this amazing show and his amazing writing, and we really appreciate it, and that's why we are here today.
No, I was just gonna say, yeah, man. I mean, it's amazing, right? How just because of One Piece, you get all sorts of people coming together, right, to discuss what Oda has created, and it's amazing. I mean, if you've seen the Reverie as well, 10 hours talking about One Piece, right? I don't know how long this will be by the end of it, but yeah, gents, it's just as once again, it's just been great, guys.
Has really been great, and thank you guys for coming. I'm sure you guys had a lot of things to do today, and we really are thankful. Blitz and I, we really are thankful to have other people here because like this is a new thing for us as well, just having other people to talk with, other than ourselves. So really appreciate you guys coming through, and yeah, we're gonna leave the social media links in the description if you all care, that is, and you want to like actually follow and whatever the case is. Thank you, Rodney. Thank you, Gotama. Blitz, thank you. Well, you can't really tell you thank you because you're forced to be here. But like I must, and like I always say, what you know about anime?